Okay, everybody, it's 4 o'clock, and as long as everybody can hear and see us, we're going to go ahead and start the meeting. I'm going to turn it straight over to Vaughn so we can take a look. Take a look at the latest and greatest draft 3.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Matthew, can I share my screen? I'll take that. You need to turn on screen sharing, Matthew.
I got you. You're good.
All right. Got it. Okay. Can everybody see my screen now? Good. All right. Great. So at our last meeting, we had identified a few additional changes to make. And then luckily, Martha, as she was reviewing it one more time, noticed that we had accidentally duplicated the guiding principles in number 8 and 10. At some point, we were moving things around, must have copied over them and put them in the wrong place and not noticed it until now, which doesn't say a lot for my proofreading skills. But I did put the correct guiding principles under number 8. These are ones that we looked at back when we were going, the correct objectives under guiding principle number 8. These are the ones we looked at when we were first going through all this back in March, early April timeframe. And so I did send out an email with these in them, as well as I updated the draft to include the updated guiding principle number 8 objectives as well last night and sent it out to everyone. Did everybody have a chance to look at that before the meeting? I see some heads nodding. Do we want to start, since we haven't discussed those, do we want to start with any comments that anybody might have on guiding principle number 8 objectives under there?
Well, no, I think I emailed you back. I thought those were very good. Those are right on.
Yep. Thank you. Anybody else have any comments or suggestions about those? All right, hearing none. I guess since the changes since the last meeting were fairly minor, didn't really have anything big to go over unless somebody wanted to discuss something else we've discussed before. I think Martha might have had a couple more points of clarification that she emailed me over the weekend. Martha, if you want to share those, we can actually look at it and make the edits in real time today.
Well, I just I think it's on page 22 because I printed out the first copy, but I haven't done the draft, so printed them out. But on that guiding principle number 1, where we talked about the quality of construction, I still think say superior construction. Yeah, we're to achieve the aesthetics and superior construction quality. That's my opinion, to make sure we're making it clear we expect construction of anything to be of superior quality.
Everybody on board with that?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Heads and nodding. I think you had at least one more.
Yeah, well, the only other on page 23, I believe it would be on the guiding principle number 4. We talked about this meetings before in the actual description, or the guiding principle itself. It says the bike walking as a primary mode, and I just don't know if we should say primary mode or it should be an important mode, but I don't know about primary.
Sherry, I think you're trying to say something. You're on mute.
Oh, well, it says it's unmuted.
It's on Sherry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. I agree, because primary is for our next 20 years. It might change later, but I think that's a good point.
We want to change that to important.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes. I don't want to give up my car.
We'll be confiscating all the cars next week.
And that was all that I had, Vaughn.
Vaughn, I have some things. I have two errors, actually,
Okay.
at least. On page 1.
Mhm.
And a question mark about the very first sentence. Keep going up.
Okay.
Where you have a comprehensive plan, and I hadn't paid attention to this because I was looking at other deeper things. And then I thought, no, today I'm going to start with every word. If you have sometimes styled as a general plan, I just think that's a little weak when we want to be a little more decisive. Even if you just took that out, a comprehensive plan, generally known as a master plan or land use plan, and just take out sometimes styled as a general plan. It just seems to me a little weak, and I think we want it more decisive. That's my opinion. And if you just put comma, generally known as a master plan or land use plan, because if the statute says we have to have a land use plan, that should be more dominant in your statement. That's just my thought. And then there is, let's see, there's a subject verb agreement error on page 1. Okay, underneath plan purpose.
Mhm.
No, this isn't your subject verb, it's just another error. I'm sorry, I've got the wrong subject verb agreement error. Underneath plan purpose, the plan resulted from a year-long process. So it's been longer than a year.
That's true.
So we need to change that to, what is it, almost, 2 years at this point. So make a note to TBA or something with that phrase. Community.
About year-long plus.
Well, yeah, you could just put over a year-long process.
That's a nearly 2-year-long process. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then a few phrases down, that same paragraph, and I'm an English teacher, so I could just take apart every semicolon and preposition and drive y'all crazy, but I'm not going to do that today. However, if you go to emphasizing the town's strong sense of community and mission, I think community and mission needs to have a little separation of thought, and I would say of community and its mission.
Yeah.
The town's strong sense of community and its mission. And that gives you a neutral preposition in front of that noun. And then on page 24, it's just a concern on page 24. Guiding principle number 6. I guess I still go back to wanting more about how we can make sure that we preserve some natural open spaces. And what do we mean by natural? And I don't know how to delineate that any better, but it's just a question that I have. Is that strong enough for that guiding principle? We talk about parks and recreation, but we've had a lot of responses from our residents about wanting to have open spaces. So I guess my question is that enough of a reference to open spaces in our guiding principle? Maybe the others have a thought. Because it's not in a bullet. I can live with it. I just wanted to say something about it.
Maybe,
Ed, you're muted. I see you talking.
I was just saying, it is in bold print about the natural open spaces. And many people just read the guiding principles and not even read the bullet points. So I think it's in the most important place to be seen is in the bold guiding principle for the community.
and Sherry, down under guiding principle number 11, the last bullet under there at the bottom of the page is highlighted. That's where we talk more directly about protecting, contiguous and connected tracts of open space. Number 6 is probably really more oriented towards the recreating aspect of parks and open space versus the natural environment. Although, recreating in natural areas is an important aspect of overall recreation, but hopefully that point number 11 will meet the things. Okay.
Sherry, this is Martha. It was maybe at the last meeting, I sort of shared some of your concern about that, and that's where Vaughn did, as he was just saying, in this guiding principle number 11. So I felt like we did cover it.
You're muted again, Sherry. Sherry, you're muted again when you're talking.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. On page 28, there is a subject verb agreement error.
Okay.
Growth area analysis, second paragraph. It says next. I wish my glasses were larger. It's about in the middle. It says next, each parcel or group of parcels were. Move down and 2 more lines right there. That were should be a was, because each is singular, parcel is singular, and then group is singular. So that's good. That's fixed. Then I had a question on page 33, 34. Unless I'm muted again.
You're good.
Okay.
I'm going to zoom in on it.
With the Mackey Guilford, just reading over that several times, one thing that maybe it'll be decided later, with the planning board, or when someone has a plan for development that we look at. But how do we define neighborhood scale retail was a question in my mind. And again, maybe that's for another day, another place, because it's neighborhood. I
put that more in the category of a zoning ordinance.
Right.
Issue that can be.
That was okay.
It generally there's a meaning behind it in the planning world.
Right.
It means stores that generally serve an immediately surrounding community versus one that people travel to from a long distance.
Okay, and then page 34, I think there was just an awkward phrasing. Page 34, in addition to its neighbor.
Which heading was that?
Okay, that's above town residential, about 2 lines above town residential. Yield a complementary enduring addition to the Jamestown community that respects the history, character, and aesthetic. In addition, No, that's not the place. Okay, I'd have to go back and figure out where it is on page 34. I didn't mark it correctly, but it's not incorrect. It's just awkward. That's all. So we'll leave that alone. That's it for me.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
I just, like I said, I didn't print out last draft, but
Mhm.
I'm kind of asking you to print, draft some kind of summary at the end. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Didn't see, like I said, I didn't print that one out, so.
We talked about beginning implementation and how to monitor and update the plan moving forward from this point.
I'll have to somehow get that.
Matthew, what do you propose? I don't know if we have any more comments. What do you?
Yeah, I was just
Design.
waiting to make sure everything had been covered, but it looks like everything has been covered. What we'd like to do is to get a general consensus from the group. Not everybody is on screen right now. I'm missing Josh and Jane. If you have the ability to turn your cameras on, I would appreciate it. What I'm going to do is ask for a consensus from the group just by raising your hands if you're in favor of sending it on to the planning board, which is the first step in this process for a public hearing on September the 20th. Just go ahead now. Everybody that's in favor? Yep, it looks like that's most everybody. Josh did write back and said that he is in favor on the chat box there. So appreciate it. We got it. Thank you all so much for your hard work on this. I look forward to bringing this to the planning board on the 20th. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great afternoon.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
I want to thank Vaughn for all his hard work and hanging in there with us. And I want to thank all the members who participated. It's been an interesting process. I think we've all gotten a lot accomplished, and I hope this will serve the town well for the next decade.
That's right.
A lot. Matthew, I think Jane just joined us. If you want to ask her.
Thank you all.
She was there, but yeah.
Yeah, Jane was having some technical difficulties.
Okay.
She's been in and out a couple of times, but
Okay.
Josh did send out some chats there saying that he was really appreciative of Vaughn and everybody else. So Jane, pop in there. Looks like she's dropped off. But anyway, I do appreciate it with everybody.
Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you all for hanging with me.
Thanks, Megan. You did a great job.
Thanks.
Bye,
All
guys.
those participants.
We'll see you soon.
Take
Denise,
care.
I'll see you soon.